to the last edition of the week inside Nigeria. Today is 7th August, July 2023. My name is Winifred Ugbebo. I'm your host on today's program. Unfortunately, my Friday guest, Jida Hero, is unavoidably absent. So for today, we are just going to be looking at the review of headline stories on some select newspapers. And of course, we always start with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership. Leadership is leading with respite for businesses as Tinubu moves to curb arbitrary taxation. Respite for businesses as Tinubu moves to curb arbitrary taxation. Suspend Suspends Finance Act, Telecom Vehicle Import Taxes. Signs for executive orders. Experts list implications of president's decision. I'll take the leading story, Leadership Friday's leading story once again. This is Nigeria's first Friday newspaper. Respite for businesses as Tinubu moves to curb arbitrary taxation. Suspends Finance Act, Telecom Vehicle Import Taxes. Signs for executive orders. Experts list implications of president's decision. That's the lead headline story. And of course, other stories: INEC files 6-count charge against Adamawa Rec. INEC files 6-count charge against Adamawa Rec. Of course, we have not forgotten the role of the Adamawa Rec in that Adamawa state by a supplementary election that took place. DPC confirms 798 cases, 80 deaths in 8 states. FCT. Diphtheria. NCDC confirms 798 cases, 80 deaths in 8 states. FCT. Protesters storm EU office over election report. CBN adjusts exchange rate on customs platform to 770.88 naira to $1. Twitter threatens to sue Meta over threats app. Tinubu joins as new app gets over 30 million users. We move up and we have the picture cover on Leadership Friday. We have Vice President Kashim Shettima expecting a parade during the 2023 Army Day celebration in Ibadan. And with him is the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Taoreed Lagbaja. Because you have the picture there, there's in an open military vehicle. Above that, we move over to dollar video. Kano Anti-Corruption Commission invites Ganduje. Dollar video. Kano Anti-Corruption Commission invites Ganduje. Media reports on ministerial list, fake news, presidency. From the cover, we move over to page 3 of Leadership Friday, where we have our stand. Our stand is still on negotiation with bandits. Still on negotiation with bandits. From there, we move over to the back page of Leadership Today, and that is a conversation with Azu, the editor-in-chief of Leadership Newspaper Group. Mesoma, what really happened? Mesoma, what really happened? It's a question, and of course, we want to find out the answer by logging on to www.leadership.ng. Just before we leave Leadership, we want to just look at Ghana Must Go. Ekiti prohibits marathon kissing contest, and that was the news. Ekiti prohibits marathon kissing contest, and Ghana Must Go ask insufficient mounts. Funny, you might say. From Leadership, we move over to The Nation. The Nation says Tinubu suspends key tax measures to ease hardship. Tinubu suspends key tax measures to ease hardship. Presidency explains 4 executive orders. No tax raised without consultation. We are not going to impose new taxes. We improve the collection, management, and efficient use of those resources. The executive orders that President Tinubu signed yesterday, according to The Nation, the Finance Act effective date variation 2023, the Customs Exercise Tariff Variation Amendment 2023, suspension of 5% excise tax on telecoms, escalation on locally manufactured products, suspension of green tax on single-use plastics and bottles. And of course, inside we have import tax adjustment levy on certain vehicles suspended. And Alake says why president is meeting opposition figures. Ministers list not ready. Why president is meeting opposition figures. Yesterday it was reported that the former SGF Pius Ayin and the former PDP's publicity secretary Olisa Metu were in the villa yesterday to meet with President Tinubu. And of course, in reaction to that, Alake says why president is meeting opposition figures. From that, we move over to another story. Banks abandon uniform ATMs, OTC transaction policy. Banks abandon uniform ATMs, OTC transaction policy. Senate probes Abuja, Kano Airport's concession. Senate probes Abuja, Kano Airport's concession. IG disbands Edo team. We move over to the above the story. This story is Anti-Graft Commission invites Ganduje over Dollar Gate. Anti-Graft Commission invites Ganduje over Dollar Gate. And above the masthead of the nation, we have INEC files 6 count charge against Adamawa Rec. Chidoka urges to come clean as minister ready to plead. Shetima army to get full support in terrorism battle. Kyari gets 50 million naira bail in assets charge. That's the leading stories on the nation. And just before we move over to the next paper on our menu, we have to look at their editorial today. And the editorial says, of course, the nation always go with 2 editorials every day. Editorial says, rewarding excellence, showers of blessing for LASU's best students, good for education. Showers of blessings for LASU's best students, good for education, rewarding excellence. Amina's impressive accomplishment should spur the authorities to do more to promote equal education, increase the available educational resources for females, and reduce dropout rates among female students. And of course, the other editorial is on confiscate hero. Confiscate hero. Seizing Jerry Okoroduwa's remains paid no respect to a Nigerian hero. Your reports that our former boxing champion, Olympian champion Jerry Okoroduwa corpse was seized in one of the hospitals for failing to pay due to hospital bills. It is all that such a body could not track a major sport figure in that field who also served as an assistant coach and earned a gold medal at the 1979 National Sports Festival at Oluyole, Ibadan. From the Nation newspaper, we move over to the next paper we have on our menu, and that is The Guardian. Meanwhile, you can log on to www.thenationonlineng.net for more stories on the Nation and inside pages. The Guardian is a story for an advocacy for pay on debt law heightens as unclaimed funds near 1.3 trillion naira. Advocacy for pay on debt law heightens as near 1.3 trillion naira. There's the big story on the Guardian newspaper on pages 4 and 5. We have asset declaration. Court grants Abakari 15 million naira bail. Temporary relief as Tinubu defers suspends Buhari's 11th hour tax drive. Temporary relief as Tinubu defers suspends Buhari's 11th hour tax drive. The story is on the news page 6. We have Kano Anti-Graft Agency invites Ganduje for questioning. These are the stories on The Guardian, and about the masthead of The Guardian. Ghana is still celebrating his 40 years, still basking in the celebration of his 40-year since print run. The Guardian continues to influence government policies. Abiodun Oshoba. Nigeria's 33 trillion naira stock market undervalued. trading at discount. Fuel subsidy, doctors want 550% salary increase, threaten strike July 19. Fuel subsidy, doctors want 550% salary increase, threatening strike July 19. Although other papers reported yesterday that is a 200% salary increase. And from there, we move over to the editorial page of The Guardian. The Guardian says underage children in common entrance examinations. Underage children in common entrance examinations. That's the editorial today on The Guardian, which is celebrating its 40 years anniversary. For more stories on The Guardian, inside pages and editorial, just log on to the website www.guardian.ng. From The Guardian, we are looking at Daily Sun. Daily Sun says federal government suspends telecoms tax, customs tariff. Federal government suspends telecoms tax, customs tariff. President signs 4 executive orders. Man Nakchima, CPPE orders, hey Tinubu. And we have just beside the masthead, APC supporters storm EU office over report on 2023 election. IPAC, we are studying report, will respond in 2 weeks. Fear import, Nigeria losing $2,000 per barrel, oil marketers. Kano anti-grab body's invitation to Ganduje over alleged dollar videos raises dust, APC kicks. Asset declaration, court grants Kyari 50 million naira bail. President here to draw list of ministers, special advisor Lake. INEC faces can charge against suspended Adamawa rec. IGP disbands police team for running over handcuffed man in Edo. And we have picture of APC supporters protesting European Union report on 2023 presidential election in Abuja yesterday. And of course, Tinubu says I'll solve security challenges. Pledges to address welfare funding, equipment, other constraints faced by military. And lastly, on the cover, we have federal government to fix new dates for national census. So this is on page 6 of Daily Sun. And before we go, we have to see what the editorial is saying today. We move over to the editorial page of Daily Sun. Daily Sun says Nigeria and FAO food outlook. Nigeria and Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO food outlook. And a snippet says a recent report by the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, of the United Nations indicates that global food bill will hit $1.98 trillion in 2023. This is said to be a 1.5% rise from 2022. Last year, the food bill reportedly rose by 11%. In 2021, it rose by 18%. According to the report, the top 5 African importers, which account for 50% of Africa's total food imports, include Egypt 15%, Algeria 12%, South Africa 9%, 7%, and Nigeria 7%. So for more stories, for more on that editorial, Nigeria and FAO food outlook, you just log on to the website www.sunnewsonline.com. From Daily Sun, we move over to Blueprint newspaper. Let's see what Blueprint is leading with today. Blueprint says NPC to Tinubu, we need additional 225.2 billion naira for national census. NPC to Tinubu, we need additional 225.2 billion naira for national census. Entire exercise estimated to cost 546.72 billion naira. President pledges support, seeks prudence, data integrity. We need additional 225.2 billion naira for national census. NPC to Tinubu. Entire exercise estimated to cost 546.72 billion naira. President pledges support, seeks prudence, data integrity. Of course, we also have APC. Okay, they said organizations and political parties for good governance for Tinubu Shetima during their peaceful walk. That is a picture on the cover of a Blueprint. And other stories on Blueprint today says, after 18 months in prison, court grants Abakari 15 million naira bail. 2023 Guba, INEC drags Adamawa wreck misconduct. Abuja Airport raises toll gate fare despite park and pay. Kudos as Tinubu signs for executive orders, suspends 5 telecom. Vehicles imports orders too. New EOs will improve Nigeria's ease of doing business. New executive orders will improve Nigeria's ease of doing business. Uwaleke. So it's on page 6 of Blueprint newspaper. And above that, we have troops neutralized 43 terrorists, NAM 39 logistics suppliers, 967 surrender. Olu of worries too. Ayiri suspension as Ologboshere done in error. Emiko. Olu of worries too. Ayiri suspension as Ologboshere done in error. And just before we leave Blueprint newspaper, we move over to the editorial page of the paper, and it is take NEMA Senate's flood warning seriously. I think this warning is to Nigerians because NEMA and NIMED, they are both alerted on the flood risk that's going to take place during this rainy season. And the editorial is on that. It says take NEMA Senate's flood warning seriously. And that is all we can take on Blueprint newspaper. For more stories on Blueprint, log on to www.blueprint.ng. From Blueprint, we have the last paper on our menu today, and that is The Punch. The Punch is punching with rising inflation. Private sector demands more waivers as Tinubu suspends taxes. Rising inflation. Private sector demands more waivers as Tinubu suspends taxes. Vehicle import, telecom, manufactured goods taxes blocked via 4 executive orders. Manufacturers, telcos welcome relief. Federal government says suspensions to alleviate hardship. Of course, we have the picture of the Marwa, the DG of the chairman of a National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, who is some senior officials of the agency yesterday who were promoted as NDLEA promotes 3,248 officials, honors 12 commands. Other stories on the cover of The Punch. Suspended Adamawa wreck trial commences July 12. Falcons protest cancelled bonuses, threatening to boycott World Cup. Review concession of Kano, Abuja Airport. Senate tells federal government. Above the masthead, we have Tinubu 30 million orders joins Zuckerberg's threats. NNPCL plans another $8 billion international gas pipeline. Money laundering, CBN places Cameroon, Vietnam, Croatia on watch list. Cover, we move over to the editorial page of the Punch newspaper. The Punch editorial today is on arresting the drug abuse trafficking menace. Arresting the drug abuse trafficking menace. For more stories on the Punch newspaper, you log on to the website www.punchng.com. So viewers, this is where we come to the end of today's newspaper review, as brought to you on Inside Nigeria on Leadership Television. My name is Winifred Ugbebo. Until I come your way, same time, same station, next week, Monday. Here's wishing you a beautiful weekend. Don't forget, security is a collective responsibility, so keep safe. Till I come your way again. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last word